Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. I'm Jade Harrell and I'm joined by Jamie Ballantyne Dolby, Amber Clear, Tina Love, and Amy Rivera today. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
I am so glad to be back and I'm so glad to be able to see you. And I want to know now, what are you listening to? June is an African Music Month. And maybe there's some new songs or artists that you know about and want to share, but what are you listening to?
So I'm listening to like my favorite artist, Eric Roberson. I'm often listening to him, and he's on rotation with a little hint of the City Girls because it's a hot girl summer because it's 90 degrees, probably all summer long. So yeah, Eric Roberson with a little hint of City Girls.
Ooh, that's some sweet sounds for you right there. What about you, Miss Tina Love?
Well, I'm not really listening to music, but I'll share that I am listening to Shirlene the Church Lady. I don't know if y'all heard of Shirlene the Church Lady. She's a comedian and she does some really funny skits. And every so often she has a church choir meeting. And so I've been listening to all her funny skits and her church choir meetings and everything. She's traveling the world right now. Well, not really the world, traveling the country. And she's really funny. So that's what I've been listening to.
I love it. What about you, Amy? What are you listening to?
I'm not really listening to music, so to speak, but I'm listening to a lot of mindful meditation and self-help meditation, just some inspiring stuff before I go to bed. So then I can think about these thoughts while I'm sleeping and wake up and I feel energized. So that's kind of what I'm listening to right now. Something new.
Oh, yes, for sure. Amber.
I have Whitney Houston on repeat, Higher Love. I love that song. And I think that it's just reminding me to stay upbeat and in the moment.
Well, these are all songs and things that we do and listen to as women, because that's what we do every week when we come on Let's Talk and share about our issues and the things that we're concerned about. And I'm sure many women can remember their first menstruation, or at least have a story to tell. Well, the St. Louis area Diaper Bank and its St. Louis Alliance for Period Supplies program has released its first booklet for first-time menstruators, Go with the Flow. So we're happy to have with us Executive Director of the St. Louis area Diaper Bank, Muriel Smith, to discuss lifting the negative stigma of menstrual cycles. Welcome, Muriel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jade. Thanks for having me.
Boy, there are some stories and memories to tell. There have been books written about the horrors of the menstrual cycle. Talk about why you took on this initiative and what it means to new blossoming women into the world.
Yeah, well, I think you said it just right. There's a lot of stigma around having a period. I grew up, I had two older sisters that got theirs before me. And when I got mine, I was like, oh my gosh, oh no, I thought it was the end of the world. And so I think just to provide some education to young girls who are having their first period to understand, that what they're feeling or how they look or what they're going through, is normal. And to provide them some information about different types of products that they might be using. A lot of young girls don't know about some of the newer products, like everybody, knows about pads and tampons. There's menstrual cups, period underwear, there's reusable pads. So there's a lot more variety of products to use for girls nowadays.
Oh, for sure. These aren't our grandmama's cycles, huh?
That's right.
Right. Well, things are much different. What are our young women facing today? What are some of the misnomers or stigmas that they do carry? Maybe some of their apprehension that we're trying to address with the booklet.
Yeah, so I think a lot of girls don't know that they can do anything when they have their period. So it's not like you just have to sit at home and not go out and ride a bike or play with your friends or, go to school or any of the normal things. It's just a normal course of life for a woman, for a young woman. And so it's just getting them to think about that it's not something that they have to be afraid of or ashamed of. It's natural for, women to get monthly periods, and that you can do anything when you have your period. You're not restricted on the things that you can do.
Well, surely there's some adaptation, because what looks like normal on any given Sunday, when the hormones kick in and all the various changes and modes and moods even, how do we help them cope and understand those aspects and live a normal life as well?
Right. So I think it's just addressing those, that, you'll have mood swings, things will hurt that don't normally hurt, helping them with pain, managing their pain so they can know what they, can do for that to help manage bloating, all of those types of things. So just giving them some tools to put in their toolbox so that when they're experiencing these things, they know that those are there's a breath of normal, but they're normal things that you would experience, and then providing them with some information on how to manage those things.
Sure, fantastic. Well, ladies, let's talk. Join in on the conversation.
What made you all started as the St. Louis area diaper bank, and we've known, the great things that you all do for babies. What caused this much needed, transition and another way to service the community in a different way? What caused that change, and how has that been for the organization?
Yeah, so there was a study that a doctor did, and that is affiliated with SLU. And that study showed the need for education around periods, but it also showed that there was a lack of knowledge about period poverty, in the country, and particularly in St. Louis. And so, we deal with diaper need, which is one aspect of what moms experience for their babies. So conversely, dealing with something, period poverty, that a lot of our families and women that we provide products to also experience. So it just made sense that we would be also at this period supply program, because we know that that's a huge need, and that the same demographics that we were serving with our diaper program also were experiencing period poverty and could benefit from getting access to period supplies.
When you say period poverty, like, I know that means there's literally just people who can't afford supplies and people who can't get supplies. I don't think the general public, or at least not everyone, knows that, especially in more rural populations. I know girls that used to just stay home. They just stayed home. And so I want to say thank you for doing this and putting this out there and ending kind of the stigma that surrounds a period, because we don't talk about it, especially as a kid. You're already embarrassed about your body. You're like, ooh, things are changing, things are growing. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because I didn't get a lot of education regarding my period. I went to a religious school. My parents didn't talk to me about it, so I was left in the dark.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and a lot of girls are, and this book really helps to sort of, bring them into the light that it's a normal course of life, and to provide them with some information that they can utilize and know that it's normal. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have to be ashamed.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten any kickback at all in the community? I mean, or just
I was just going to ask the same question, Amber. I was getting ready to ask the same question. Great. Yeah.
No, actually, we've gotten a lot of support.
Right.
Like we have a lot of organizations and people out in the community that are very thankful to be able to have, access to period supplies, because this isn't something that's, in schools, they don't, all schools don't automatically provide this to students, workplaces, other places. And then people who really aren't able to afford these supplies can't get to them, or in their community, they might not have they might be in a food desert where there's no store, where they can go get these items. And so being able to freely provide these items to them has been really welcomed in the community.
Right. Well, and when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because, a lot of families now get help with food stamps. Okay. But those are food items. They don't cover, sanitary napkins, soap, diapers, and different things like that. And so learning about the period poverty study not long ago, it just made me think about the fact that a lot of people have to make a decision as to whether or not they will get sanitary napkins and deodorant and soap, or will they put food on their table? That's a reality for a lot of people. And it was mind blowing when I learned about it. I started thinking about it. I'm like, wow, I've been fortunate enough not to have to make those kind of decisions, but I can imagine there are a lot of families that do.
Yeah,
girls.
definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing that in St. Louis, I think it's 1 in 5 women experience period poverty. So it is a large amount, and the pandemic has only, as we all know, exposed many inequities, but certainly this one has been one, I think, along with diaper need, that has just sort of come to light for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sure. You're amplifying awareness and also a response. How do you respond and are able to provide these things? And how can we help? If the numbers are 1 in 5, then there's definitely going to be a demand for the products. How are you able to supply those, and how can people help? How can we all help?
Yeah, so we, like a lot of other diaper banks and organizations that also do period supplies, we actually purchase at large volumes period supplies from like Kotex, and Top is one of our retailers. They're organic, and we can do so at a very low cost, so that we can then return those to the community and people that need them. We also get donations. So we have ambassadors that are out in the community that do drives for us, that collect period supplies and diapers. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be an ambassador or be near an ambassador site. If you want to collect items, you can do that. We often post on our social media and our website what we're needing at the moment, different sizes of diapers, types of tampons and pads. So those are the 2 ways that we're able to provide these to the community. And the community can really help by doing in-kind donations, but also giving us monetary donations so that we can be able to purchase all of these supplies. Last year, our diaper program, we distributed over 3 million diapers to the St. Louis region. And our period supply program, we did close to 500,000 period supplies out into the St. Louis region.
Great job.
That's
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well,
Yeah.
well done. Thank you so much.
Wow.
We are learning so much about how the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank is making an impact in this community. Stay tuned, because when we're back, we're going to continue our conversation with the executive director. Stay close.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
And welcome back. Earlier, we spoke about the need to take away the negative stigma of menstrual cycles. And we now continue our conversation with Executive Director of the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank, Muriel Smith. And we pivot our conversation on the initial reason for bringing the nonprofit to the community, diapers. Muriel, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Sure. So we all know if you've cared for a new human that they bring a whole lot of joy and a whole lot of need for diapers. But what was your initial thought and idea to launch the nonprofit?
Yeah, so our organization was started just in the notion that there was no diaper bank here in the St. Louis region. There are diaper banks over 200, I believe, across the country, and there was none here in St. Louis to help us with our diaper need. And so we started the diaper bank to help the St. Louis community so that we can make sure that babies get diapers and parents, are happy and comfortable.
Tina, you said you could relate to the
Yes,
need.
yes. Right around the same time I told you that I was learning about the period poverty, I happened to be at the St. Louis County Library over on Natural Bridge, and I sometimes, this was before the pandemic, would go in and record my show. So I happened to be rushing to leave. I went to the restroom and there was a young girl, probably the age of, she looked to be about 14, 15 years old, and she had a little baby. The baby was about, I would think, 3 or 4 months. And immediately when I hit the bathroom, the baby was just wailing, crying. And it wasn't that kind of cry that, I'm hungry, I'm irritated, but it was kind of like this child was in distress, but I just tried to mind my own business and I went to the restroom. When I came back out, the child was still crying. And the young girl said she didn't have diapers. And I looked at the child's bottom and it was just as red as this lipstick I have on. And I felt so bad. And so about that time, another older woman came in and I knew I was rushing to leave. And I said to the lady, she doesn't have diapers for the baby. And the baby it looks like she's chafed, she's raw. And the woman started to talk to her and she said, well, how long will you be here? I'll run down the street to Dollar Tree or whatever, and I'll grab you some diapers and then I'll bring it back, But when I left, I was just so shaken. But I also was thinking about the fact that these are items that a lot of times we just take for granted. Well, you got to get diapers, you got diapers, But there are families and mothers who really can't afford. And it just made me think about how long had that child been with her onesie on without a diaper?
That's
Because
a
her
basic
bottom,
human need. Yeah.
yes, her bottom looked raw, and it could have been a couple of days where this child was not actually wearing a diaper and was just wet. So I commend you, Miriam. The diaper bank is so needed. And so I just thought I would tell that story.
Thank you, Tina. Muriel, do you provide information about alternatives? Because diapers are expensive. What about for cloth or some other means to, solve the issue for keeping your baby clean and taking care of their health? How are you able to inform even diapers and beyond, so to speak?
Yeah, so we are the population that we serve with our diapers, they really would not be able to maintain having cloth diapers. So that's our main reason for having the disposable diapers. It's not feasible for them to have cloth diapers and be able to clean those. So the disposable diapers are really the best. We do partner with other nonprofit organizations that we distribute the diapers to. So we partner with the county libraries, actually, some of those branches, and other nonprofit organizations like Food Outreach and Parents as Teachers, yes, to provide those diapers to their clients and to the community. And our partners do educate about, everything that goes around with diapering a baby. So making sure that they, know how to know that there's a rash or there's something wrong and that the diaper needs to be changed more often, while also providing them with those diapers to change the baby more often. We are looking into doing an education program along with our diaper program so that we can educate parents more about diapering, about the causes of diaper rash and what to do about it, and those types of things that go along with it. And so those are just some of the things that our partners are really good about being able to educate the families about what to do. And we do occasionally get some additional donations of wipes, diaper cream, those things that we then in turn provide to our partners so that they can provide those to the families that need those things.
I just want to jump in real quick and make sure, because you touched on a point that the population you serve isn't, I don't know how you phrase it, but that cloth diapers wouldn't be feasible. Is that cloth, running water? I think that people need to know, because people think, oh, cloth diapers, use cloth diapers, they're cheaper. They are not. And they take a lot of money and effort and time that people don't have to maintain.
That's right. Yeah. And then if you're, if you don't have access to a washing machine, or if you have, difficulty with where you're living, if water's not always running, or there's some issue, or maybe, you're homeless or you're living with a relative or a friend, it's not feasible for you to be able to, have cloth diapers and be able to wash those and clean those. When you yourself are kind of in flux. And so it is really easier for parents to be able, or at least for the parents that we serve, the families we serve, to have disposables.
I wanted to say thank you for talking about the cloth diapers. I used both when my child was in, and while cloth diapers definitely saved my family a lot of money, I think the other resources that come along with it, having in-home washer dryer or cloth diaper services, is important as well. What are some of the ways or events that have coming up that someone watching can make a simple donation, or do you accept diaper drop-offs directly to you all? How does that work?
Yeah, so anytime anybody has a donation that they would like to donate to us, they can come to our office and drop that off directly. They don't have to call or anything like that. We also have those community ambassadors that I spoke about that are out in the community. We will have different diaper drives for various sizes for diapers on a monthly basis. And then you can drop off at their homes, and those locations are listed on our website so that if you're nearby, they'll know. You don't have to call or anything. You can just drop them off on their front porch and they know to bring them to the diaper bank. We do also post on our social media and website when we have specific needs for diapers. We do, in this fall, we have Fill the Warehouse event that people can donate tons and tons of diapers, hopefully, that we have at our warehouse, and that's during Diaper Need Awareness Month. And that's a good time, can collect up until then and bring them, during that whole month if you would like to.
Thank you.
Do you guys accept open boxes of diapers?
We accept open boxes, but not necessarily open packages. The diapers are wrapped in plastic wrap. So, but definitely open boxes is fine.
Amy.
From one executive director to another, my heart goes to you. And I have a passion to help young mothers and women in need. So I'm going to be stopping by the diaper bank, and I'm going to be giving you a generous donation because it's just in my heart to do this. As a single mother myself, before I was married, I struggled to have formula, diapers, wipes. And when Tina was talking about the mother in the bathroom, I can relate to that because I was a mother like that. So I'm just in awe of what you do, and thank you for helping the community. And I will definitely be participating in this because it's just on my heart to help those women and those children have a better home life. And just sometimes just helping someone can make a difference in the world. And just thank you. Thank you for following your heart and doing this for our community.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. That's so nice.
Amy, I'm glad you shared that story because it speaks to the stigma that is applied to women who have points in time of need. And here you are, an executive director, and you relate and understand the story that Tina shared. Before that's my last question, maybe in the last minute, if you don't mind, Muriel, speak to the people who don't understand or maybe haven't had a chance to know about the folks that have the need and where they may be mistaken about who they are and what their situation is.
Yeah, initially it was low income families that we were serving that didn't have access to what we say an adequate supply of diapers, which just means enough diapers to diaper their child. And we're a stopgap measure. We're kind of fulfilling or filling a hole. So we can't provide all of the diapers that they would need for the entire time that they would need diapers. But, if you are struggling to do other things like pay your rent, or, if you don't have a job or a place, steady place to live, you have to choose. You have to start making choices about what you're going to do. And so for our families, a lot of them, those choices are, well, I have to pay rent or I have to put food on the table. And so diapers kind of gets down the list, and they may start, leaving the diaper on the child, the baby, for a long period of time, which causes stress to the baby, but obviously stress to the parents as well, because your baby's in stress and distress. So it's those types of families, but as the pandemic showed us, when people started to lose their jobs and their livelihoods, it sort of widened that gap, of who needs our services.
Absolutely. Well, that's our show for today, and we certainly hope you've enjoyed it. You can find more information about the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank by visiting stldiaperbank.org. And after you check them out, be sure you visit us at stltv.net or find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm Jade Harrell for Jamie Ballantyne Dolby, Amber Clear, Amy Rivera, and Miss Tina Love. We'll see you next time for another episode of Let's Talk. All right, here we go. Oh,
wait one moment.
Cue me. Sorry, Joe.
Whose voice was that?
That was the voice of the Almighty.
I was like, that wasn't a girl voice. Where did that come from?
Right.
It's been a girl voice.
Don't want to start gagging. Trying to hold your posture and your tummy in at the same time and talk. You don't feel my pain. You don't feel my pain.